He's looking at himself.
He is, isn't he? Teething, it's a natural thing for babies and puppies, but how do we help our canine friends soothing themselves? Well, here to tell us more about teething, Jim Helms. He's the owner of Jim Helms Dog Pals, and what might be the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's adorable.
So who do we have here today?
This is Jameson. He's about a 16-week-old corgi.
Oh, Jameson.
And he's doing really good.
So, but inevitably, he's going to get to that point in his maturity where he starts teething.
Yes.
So why is it, though, that dogs bite and nip humans during that time?
Well, part of it is just it's natural play. If you ever just see a bunch of puppies out there playing, they're nipping and they're playing and they're biting and they're picking up stuff. It's just who they are. They don't have hands, so they use their mouth.
And they don't mean it in a negative way. They love it.
Nope. And to kind of start this, a lot of what times what happens is people don't want their dog to bite, and they basically start yelling at their dog and they tell them not to bite. But this is the perfect time to teach your dog what we call bite inhibition. Yeah. So that when they grow up, that they don't actually bite and hurt somebody. And a lot of times people take the dog away from the mom too quick. Yeah. 8 weeks is a minimum that the dog should leave their litter mates, but even now 10 or even 12 weeks, because they're actually learning bite inhibition through playing with their own litter mates.
Now, this process of teething and the biting and the nipping, how long does it last?
It can last anywhere 9 months, 9 months old, or even longer for some dogs, but you can expect it to go to anywhere from 9 months to 12 months.
Now, are there dogs that won't necessarily grow out of it because it's just so inbred into them and they enjoy it so much?
In part more because what do we humans like to do? I mean, I was over there playing with her earlier, and I'm kind of like face mapping, and she's kind of biting.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm actually teaching her to actually bite me. And so that if you do it on a regular basis, they're going to just do it out of fun. And
so it's one of those things you don't want to aim for because you don't want to reinforce the bad behavior. So where does it go from there? When your dog is teething and he's chewing up the furniture and all that, how do you keep him from not doing that? What kind of toys and tools can you use?
We basically want to start with a management. I mean, the puppies are going to chew on stuff. No matter what we do, we cannot stop it. So if they're chewing on the furniture, let them know. Bad dog, okay? Knock it off. And then you need to take them over to someplace else, maybe put them in an X-pen, a crate, and give them something to chew on. I mean, rope toys, soft toys, Kong balls we've talked about, marrow bones.
And you've made great recipes. You go to mymassappeal.com, we have all the recipes. I've made them myself. I went on the website with the wife the other day and we made them. So it's anything. Ice cubes even work too.
I mean, ice cubes are good, but they don't last very long.
That's true. And they can make your floor terribly messy.
Yep. But like I say, give them something to chew on. And there's even been a couple dogs where I've told people, you get those like little chicken cubes, bouillon cubes, and you actually cook your ropes or something like that, and it actually gives this really good taste to the dog.
That is brilliant.
And the dogs will actually start to play with that even more.
Well, I have some toys at home, just regular toys, and the dog doesn't love them because, they just taste like nylon or rope or something. Yep. If you cook them. So how do you do that? You boil it up?
I basically just boil it up. I put the rope in it, and I take it off the stove. I don't actually cook it.
Yeah.
And then I just let it soak in there for a while, so it actually becomes the flavor and the smell, and then the dogs just love them.
That's
and it can
brilliant.
work. And it's cheap, so it works.
Now, going forward, you have a dog that's a little bit nippy. How can you make sure that stays in the playful mode and doesn't enter? He sneezed. It's adorable. How can you make sure it doesn't enter into a negative space?
Well, one of the things that we like to do is actually teach the dog to bite gently. Go ahead, look at the camera.
So in a sense, you're teaching a soft mouth.
Yep, exactly what we want to do. So if he's actually really good, I can just click and treat. And basically what we call here, there's a scale that Dr. Dunbar put out, and from a 1 to 5. In a 1, he's just taking it. I barely even feel any teeth.
Can I try?
I can click, yep.
Yes, I'll grab one. And so in other words, what you're doing is you're kind of teaching him to nibble, but in a soft and acceptable way.
Correct. And then if it hurts and he actually bites you or it's too hard, you basically can go, ow. You don't even have to. Sometimes some trainers won't even tell you to say anything. You basically take that treat and you put it away. You put it behind your back, anywhere from 10 seconds to, I don't know, even longer. And then you come back and you try again. So the dog's going to learn, if I bite, that object that I want goes away. If I take it gently, then I get to eat it or play with it or whatever else I want to do.
Great tip.
So it's just a nice game that you can play as long as the dog is being gentle. Go ahead and have fun with it.
And as always, you're reinforcing with the clicker training. So if people are hearing that click, just reinforce us and the people at home. What is clicker training?
Well, clicker training, Jameson is clicker charged. He's 16 weeks old and he's already in puppy class. But basically what happens if the dog does something we like, then we click, and that's that marker telling the dog, oh, okay, that's a good thing. I did something right, and I'm going to get a treat after that.
So you're reinforcing good behavior with the sound of a click.
Yes.
And you were saying earlier, too, when someone hurts you, you say, ow, or knock it off. You're also talking about by creating the vocabulary, you want to do just maybe one or two words. You don't want to give the dog whole paragraphs to tell him that he's wrong.
And I don't like to use the word no, because we humans tend to use that word all the time. So when the dog hears it, it's like, well, you're talking to your wife, you're talking to your kids, you're talking to me.
True.
But you don't really generally go up and say, or knock it off to your wife.
That's true.
Maybe knock it off, I don't know.
I was going to say, it's some sort of weird family dynamic you have. Who are we to judge?
Right. So basically the dog learns, and he goes, okay, I did something wrong. And you kind of look, he looked up at me and I was like, really, what am I doing wrong?
He wants to know what he's done wrong. Well,
Right.
Jim, thank you so much. And Jameson, I wish Jameson was our pet of the week, but unfortunately, he's not. We have an amazing dog, Daisy, a little bit later on the show for pet of the week. Now, talking about dogs and their teeth, we're going to transition a little bit, Jim. We're talking about humans and their teeth. Brushing and flossing should be part of your daily routine. I hope it is, and that's because tooth decay can cause all kinds of health problems. And here's Martha Shade with a little health minute.